Hey everyone, this is JustGaming's PS5 review. I've had the PS5 for a few days now, and these fellas who are joining me today have had it for more than a week. I was gonna say almost a week, but no, more than a week. We're basically gonna talk about the hardware, a little bit of the software, and we're gonna also talk about the games because the games do matter when it comes to the PS5 launch per se. Um, Joining me today, I have once again Ras, and I have another special guest, Roman. He's joining us today to help us review the PS5. So, gentlemen, how are we feeling about the PS5?
It is a gaming console that
So, is the
is
Nintendo
That it
Wii?
is, yeah.
it is better than I thought it would be. And I just am so happy that I am now continuing on into my fifth, well, technically sixth, 5.5 ish if you count the PSP generation of PlayStation gaming. And I am just so happy and thrilled with what it's had to offer so far, and I can't wait to see what these next 6 to 7 years bring me. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite launch of a next gen console so far. And if the last week or so is any indication, I can't wait for what's to come.
yeah,
I,
pretty much.
it's weird because I don't think anything will ever top, for me, the PS4 because getting the PS4 to me was like a big moment because it was the first console I ever got with like my own money. Like it was the first time I actually saved up, worked for it, and then used basically all my savings that I had for the entire year to get a PS4. But this was special because we really needed something to save 2020, and I think the PS5 came like when we needed the most, and it's been wonderful. So let's first talk about a little bit of the hardware. Now we all of us three don't know that much about the software to speak like in depth, but we can talk about like the design, how the console works. We can also talk about the controller. I don't know if you guys have the other accessories. I don't have. I only have the controller and the PS5. But let's talk a little bit about
Same.
the hardware. But we'll mainly focus on the software in game. But let's go first with the hardware.
Well, the controller is more than just a bunch of buzzwords. They could say haptic feedback and adaptive triggers all those months, and we had heard that it was genuinely fulfilling and gratifying to put the controller in your hands and really feel immersed in what you're watching on screen or playing on screen. And the controller, I think, is what the console is kind of centered around. Really, it's kind of the centerpiece of the whole operation. Now, when you're playing older games, maybe not as much. It feels like a standard controller, but I think that for the first time, the PlayStation controller doesn't feel like it was made out of cheap plastic. It doesn't feel like it's going to break easy. It doesn't feel like the left stick is going to just break after using it for a couple months, and then all of a sudden you're left with a wonky gaming experience. But yeah, I feel like the controller is really kind of the centerpiece of this whole operation, and it is far and away the most impressive thing I've experienced in gaming in a long time. It's that impressive.
Yeah, if there's anything that I would define this next generation with, I would be the DualSense controller. Um, I mean, there's
Yeah,
just nothing like it. I mean, a new controller is one thing, but this is like a whole new. It's a game changer really for the system. And yeah, I mean, as far as the system design itself, I'll just say that I'm glad I got the digital edition because the regular kind of looks ugly. But that's
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
I see.
pretty
I see how
opinionated.
it is. Imagine getting a console because of its aesthetic. Couldn't be me. Uh,
beautiful either
I,
way.
I agree. I agree. Like I think the thing I was like expecting the most about the PlayStation, I think the thing I was most like curious to say was the controller, and without a doubt, I think the controller is like the thing that makes me really say like this is next gen. Of course, the the PlayStation is beautiful and it works really well, but the controller, the feel, I don't think I've ever hold on a controller I liked as much as I like the PS5 controller. I've had different Xboxes. I had some PlayStations, but to me, I think this is like the best I've ever felt holding on a gaming controller. It, I know the buzz seems like okay, they're overhyping it. They're not. They're not. This is incredible. To me, this is the thing that really makes me feel like yeah, this is groundbreaking because it feels like the controller is the thing that allows you to to experience this gaming in another level. Like, just I'm gonna just throw an example here, but like at the opening of Miles Morales, there's a metro station, and you see Miles just riding the subway, and you can feel the railroad of the subway on the controller, and the controller makes the sounds of the environment around Miles, and it feels so immersive. It sounds so different than what we're used to, and this is just like brand new. This also happens with Astro's Playroom, Astro Playroom, right? Yeah, Astro Playroom. They
Mhm.
do this same mechanics with the game, and it feels different. It feels brand new. Like, sure, there's better graphics with the PS5. There's less load times, but to me, those feel like more of an improvement than something brand new, something that justifies buying on day one to experience something different. I think the controller is the thing that allows the users and the consumers to really have a brand new next gen experience. But the console is also great. I love my physical no, sorry, not physical, but the PS5 disc version. I bought the disc version because I want to support physical games and I want to support physical media, but apparently some people buy it for the aesthetic, I guess. Let's talk a little bit. Okay, so like we can't really dive into the hardware side that much because like we don't know that much, but we can talk about the software because there's a lot to talk about software. So, Roman, what was your favorite part of the whole PlayStation? Whether we're talking the UI, whether we're talking the actual like the the way the PlayStation 5 works. Give us your thoughts. Your thoughts.
I'll kind of save UI a little bit. I think if there's anything I have to nitpick or be a little underwhelmed by is the UI personally. Maybe I just need to spend more time with it. But for software sake, it seems like obviously the next generation of gaming is built around convenience. It's built around getting you in and out of games quick, ready to play. I mean, it was just blew my mind. Miles Morales crashed on me twice, and I was back in and playing in 10 seconds. Like I never left, like it never happened, and I think that that's going to be a huge. I mean, this whole we've mentioned game changing a couple times already, but game changer in terms of like there's been times where I've been playing a game and it's crashed. And I've been frustrated and been like, forget it, I'm not going to play this. This has happened too much already because it takes so long to get back into the game and ready to go. But with how fast the speeds are, let's just keep gaming. And that's a little dangerous, considering now that I have other responsibilities and I am an adult. But, you know, time has flown by already for me where I've been up till 1 a.m. being like, man, the fact that I'm no longer sitting on my phone in a load screen kind of sucks because I'd like to check Twitter every once in a while. But at the same time, I'm like, let's go to the next world. Let's go to the next mission. I mean, I'm just ready to go. And I feel like that's ultimately it's kind of the biggest talking point for me, essentially.
Yeah, big props to Sony for making me not go on Twitter that much. Love it. But yeah, no, the load times are crazy. I would say as far as the UI, yeah, I think the biggest thing is I'm not used to it, and I'm used to kind of pressing the PS Home button and just getting to the menu to quit the game or whatever. But now I keep forgetting that I have to hold on to it and all that stuff.
Go to the taskbar or
Yeah,
something. Yeah.
yeah. But I'm sure I'm gonna get used to it at some point. What I really love about the UI is the new activity cards, which I was kind of skeptical at first, but after trying it out with, I mainly tried it with Astro's Playroom. It's amazing. I mean, being able to like see what objectives you need and just zapping right to that point in the game. I don't know. That's pretty next gen to me.
Yeah. That also is a huge plus for me too. For example, the other day I was playing before work. I was playing some Miles Morales, continuing through the story and whatnot. And I was trying to just chip away at some stuff because I knew I was going to beat it that night, but I wanted to try and get as far as possible. And the game will tell you how long it might take you to beat a mission or to do a side quest. And I feel like that's a really big deal especially for someone like me now who really has to value my time with gaming at certain parts of the day, because I was like, okay, I've got 15 minutes to do this. I can maybe squeeze in this. And it's like, cool, the game is telling me, or the console's telling me, like, okay, here's what you can do at this time. Boom, just do it. And I did what I had to do and then went to work, like, no problem. So,
Yeah. To me, the load. It's funny because when we first heard about like the load times will be basically non-existent, I was like, that doesn't really sell me on getting a new console just because of load times, because load times never bother me. But experiencing it right now, I realize how important they are. So basically, I'm working from home. Due to COVID, I'm working from home, and I work as a programmer. So basically, sometimes I when I'm working with some type of program, I have to give out to a tester so he can test the program and tell me if it's working or if I need to fix something. So usually that leaves me like 10 minutes of waiting for a response, waiting for someone to call me back to tell me what they thought of the program. Uh, the other day I did that with the PS5 already, and I was waiting. And I was like, okay, let me see how much I can play Miles while I'm waiting for the results back from the test. I got up, went to my PS5, I turned it on. I think I did like two gang missions, not the gang missions, but the mission. You know what I'm talking about? Those missions we like. I don't
Like the
know
crime.
actually. Yeah, the crime
yeah.
missions
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
I did two crime missions in the space of like 10 minutes, and I was like, okay, I literally just got up in 10 minutes. I got up from my workstation. I went on the PS5 and I actually played a little bit of the game. I had to. I didn't wait for anything. I didn't wait for. And I'm gonna put in the video the load times for Mile. I only have Miles and Sackboy, but I'll show you how long it takes from the PS5 to get to the Miles um, go and then Sackboy. And this is not only this type when like you're doing something and then go real quick to play games. It also I also this situation kind of happened as well when I was playing Fortnite. So I was playing Fortnite with a couple of friends, and one of my friends had to update the the Fortnite game. So I was like, okay, how long is it gonna take? I was like, oh, it's gonna take like 20 minutes or something. So I got out of I didn't close Fortnite. I got out of Fortnite. I opened Miles. I played Miles for like 20 minutes, and it was like, okay, the update is done. I quickly went back to Fortnite, and I was back in the menu. It took like literally nothing to go back into the Fortnite menu. That's game changer. Like the way you can just take these little opportunities and actually seize them and enjoy them and play them. Because on my old, I have the first edition PS4. No way I could have.
Yeah.
It takes me like 10 minutes to get in Fortnite, let alone
Yeah.
Miles or Spider Man. It is insane, and it's fun. Cause it's funny because when I first heard of like non-existing load times, like okay, that's cool, but that doesn't really sell me on the next gen. No, this is next gen. This is what it was made, what it's meant to be. Because we can go further than we already are with graphics. I think graphics we've basically have gone the peak of graphics because there's no way we
Yeah.
can go higher than this. So I think the future of gaming is making the experience more immersive and more enjoyable. So load
Convenient.
times are here to make
Yeah.
our experiences better. I also want to talk about something I really thought was cool. So I don't know if you guys checked this, but I was playing Miles. Yeah, basically I've played barely Sackboy. I've been playing Miles because I'm kind of addicted to Miles. But anyway, I was playing Miles and I wanted to know how to do the Into the Spider-Verse jump where he grabs his phone and sends a text. And my friend was like, I'll teach you. So I basically shared play, my screen, and he was watching my screen while he was playing his Miles Morales, which I thought was pretty cool. Like he had no lag. I didn't have any like the share screen didn't affect anything on my side. It didn't affect anything on his side. He was basically watching me play Miles while he was playing Miles, which was
Yeah.
really cool to me. That's really like with no like latency, with no problems when it came to Wi-Fi or internet. Like that's brilliant and that's really cool. Um, do we let's the menu of the PS5, I like it, but I think I like the PS4 UI more. And that's something also
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, go, you can go.
no, I feel like the UI for me, I think it's just not as seamless as I would have hoped right now. I mean, again, it's probably something that it's going to take time for me to get used to. But usually when I'm gaming, I'm in like a PS4 party or sorry, not a PS4 party. Oh my God, a PS5 party, and I have to exit out and find the right party because the game or the UI doesn't really tell me what the right party is and what party people are actually in. On top of the fact that sometimes I just feel like it's not as seamless. What is most impressive about it is that again, everything's no longer an app. It doesn't feel like an app. So, for example, like when you open the PlayStation Store on
Oh my
PS4 or
god.
PS3, you were like, "Oh my god, it takes freaking forever," and it's like an app. But now it's just all part of the home screen, and I
Yeah.
think that is unbelievable. That's the first thing I noticed because I opened PS Store to download Demon Souls and Spider Man, and I was like, wow, I no longer feel like it's taking a lifetime for me to just enjoy my gaming experience. But yeah, the UI, I feel like it's something, again, that we've mentioned we're probably going to have to get used to, but it's not nearly as refined as I would have liked
Don't
personally.
you don't you love that on the UI when you select a game, it actually shows you like a little bit of the score of the game? I love that.
Oh, dude,
Like
I was going to just mention that. Yeah.
when you're like selecting Miles, it's gonna show you a little bit of the score of Miles. They also have it on Fortnite, which is awesome because I love Fortnite. And when I was selecting Fortnite, it showed me the. I think Roman knows, but I don't think Raz knows. The classic, the classic Fortnite, uh, the Fortnite score, like season 2 score,
Yeah.
which is
The nostalgia
awesome.
hit, bro.
The
Yeah.
nostalgia hit, it's so cool. And like, but I was gonna also mention now to talk about something that was bugging me. Um, the PS5 doesn't have the thing that the PS4 had, where you hold down the PlayStation button, and it will like show you like a sidebar with like close app and adjust audio and everything. PS5 doesn't have that, which to me is kind of bothering because, like, for example, if I want to close Miles, I have to actually go to the menu, I have to press select, and I have to press close game. Well, on a PS4, just I would just press down the PlayStation button, it would open a tab, and then it would say like close game, and I was like yes. And that the PS5 doesn't have that, which kind of sucks because you have to go all the way back. Like, it sucks in a way that they gave us the PlayStation 5 to be as like, if the it was supposed to be like the best thing in the world. Like, you would save tons of time with such like miscellaneous things. And now I, this little thing, I know it's just a little thing, but this little thing where I have to go all the way back to the menu to close on the game, and to open another one. I don't know. It's that's the
To be
only
fair
like
though, it's
minor
like two
thing.
seconds.
I know, but they were making a big deal about those 2 seconds. So if
Yeah.
they're making that a big deal, I have to make it a big deal. But yeah, I'm loving everything about the console. Okay, sorry, I don't know if it's just me, but the PS4 transfer kind of sucks, and it crashed on me like 3 times for some reason. I don't know if it's just my PS5,
PS4
but
transfer for,
I was gonna transfer like
sorry, into the
three
PS4.
games.
The initial
Yeah, the
transfer, you mean?
PS4. Yeah, the initial
Oh,
transfer.
okay. Okay.
It crashed
Oh
me
my god. So
twice.
this
I don't know why. It was having so much trouble. I don't know why. I just wanted Crash 4 and another two Way Out, and I don't remember the third game, but I wanted those 3 games on my PS5, and he was like, "Nope, it's too much for me. You play the PS5 games you
yeah.
have. That's all you need."
I feel like a lot of people were saying it's like an easy transfer and all that. It took me 7 hours to transfer, and it ended up not working. So,
You see, there's something
Wow.
going on here.
and I was only
Okay.
transferring Destiny 2,
So
and
for me, okay, so the data transfer I didn't end up doing because it said it would take about 50 minutes. So not that bad, but I wanted to get some game time in before I went to work the day I got it. So what I ended up doing, and I don't know if it worked all right for you guys. I mean, obviously it didn't in this scenario, but for me, what I did is I just downloaded the games, the PS4 games, so like MLB, Rocket League, games with a lot of time I put into them, a lot of data, and then I came home and just downloaded the save data and everything worked okay. So I don't know. I didn't do a proper PS4 transfer. That console's now with my younger brother. Um, but yeah, for me, I thought I didn't have any issues there, but I can definitely see why that would be frustrating for you guys. I mean, 7 hours, that is insane. And I know you game more than I do, Rasika. So
Yeah, you probably game more than me. I'm like the one that games probably the least out of all of us. But yeah, to me it was so weird. I was something that was I don't know something that was so like as this big thing not working. I don't know. But I was gonna ask you. I think okay. So Roman already told us his game like crashed twice. But did you guys also crash while using the video capture section? Like I was trying to save a clip of Miles and my PS4 crashed. And I was like, okay, maybe I did something here that wasn't right. So I got on the game again and I saved another clip and it crashed again. And I was like, okay,
no,
what's going on? But now it's working fine. I
no,
don't
it
know
only
if it's
crashed for
just
me. I was
two separate things, but I don't know. It was weird.
Must be those faulty European consoles.
Must be those disk drivers, right?
USA, USA.
Must be the disk drive, man. Must be the disk drive. So,
Yeah, I
how
mean
is your how
it's
is
just
your PlayStation how
launch
is your PlayStation
consoles.
4K player? I want to know this. Have you seen a movie in 4K on your PS5? It's pretty cool. Oh, you can? Oh, that sucks, bro. It's okay. Don't worry.
I got my Samsung 4K
I
player.
watched Blade, I watched Blade Runner 2049. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but digital.
I
We all know
streamed it,
digital is
but
better. Physical is better, bro.
all right,
Okay.
all right.
So, as another important part of the PS5, we need to talk about the games because the games are important when it comes to the launch of the overall console. Reap Xbox, I guess. Let's talk about the PS5 games. So let's talk about the exclusives or the launch titles, and you can if you guys played any of the other non-PlayStation Studios releases, you can talk about them. Um, yeah, what do you think of the launch lineup? And, or the games you played from the launch lineup, I mean.
Well, um, I, I mean, it's kind of hard to argue that this is probably the best launch lineup for console ever.
The PS
That's
Vita is better, but yeah.
including that is including the wonderful Astros Playroom. Um, so I got Miles Morales, Demon Souls, pretty much the two heavyweights for the launch lineup, as well as maybe like Godfall or something, but whatever. So
Who's playing Godfall?
I just want to start with Astros Playroom. My younger
Yeah.
brothers are playing right now. They're experiencing the PS5 for the first time. And someone said this on Twitter, but this PS5 is going to be someone's what PS2 or PS1 was for me. And PS5 or Astro's Playroom is essentially to me what everyone should start with immediately as soon as they start the console. Not only does it familiarize you with the controller, but it shows you the potential. Sure, the graphics aren't as pretty as Miles Morales, which I'll get into very quickly here, but just the haptic feedback, the adaptive triggers, the look of the game, there's no load times. You're just in and out. Everything is just a seamless experience, and I feel like that is essentially what you should start with, and it's a game I very much enjoyed. I platinumed it. It's very simple. You collect some crap, you beat some levels, you beat the bosses, and there's some great Easter eggs. There's some deep cuts, and it is essentially a celebration of PlayStation. It's a celebration of the family of PlayStation, the long history, the legacy, where they started from, and where they are now. And that is just so awesome and so sweet. Miles Morales, I just beat it the other day. I mean, Insomniac just gets Spider-Man for all the crap that Spider-Man Twitter gets. My God, Insomniac just delivers time and time again. This is now the second game in a row where I was just like in total awe of what I was playing, tugging on the heartstrings a little bit. And to me, Spider-Man PS4 had the better story. This game is only like 8 hours, 7 hours story-wise, but the gameplay, I literally cannot. I don't think just how good the combat feels with the controller, the tightness of the swinging. When you web swing, when you're just by yourself, you're like, okay, this feels a little more free. And then when you have some more weight on your back with like a cat, for example, it feels a little bit heavier. And the gameplay is just beautiful. So you've got fidelity mode or performance mode. I started with fidelity because I wanted to see the ray tracing. Um, I wanted to see what everything would look like, glaring off the ground. Because I was like, okay, this is everything they've been talking about. But then I switched to performance mode, and I was like, this is it. Ray tracing is nice. It's
You
great.
can't go back. Once you go
You can,
performance,
yeah,
you can't go.
yeah.
That's
You just
that's
can't.
funny because I actually like fidelity more. I tried performance mode and I liked it. I was like, okay, this is cool. I'm gonna say performance mode when I played the new game plus, but I actually prefer the fidelity because I think it looks prettier and I actually think um, I I don't think I enjoy more the Miles Morales
I
game
think
with 30 frames per second because it feels more cinematic to me and it feels
it does feel more
and the ray tracing
cinematic
is awesome.
and the
It is
colors
awesome.
pop more. But
Yeah.
when I was swinging in performance mode, I was like, my God, this is this is awesome. Like I just
Yeah.
and jumping off of cranes and jumping off of buildings. I mean, the whole game and the whole experience is just
Hmm.
a total blast from start to finish. And I seriously, Spider-Man 2 yesterday. I need it. I want it. Let's get the ball moving.
No, no, no.
Um,
Co-op, co-op, co-op.
We need the Ratchet and Clank first. I want Ratchet and Clank first.
that's gonna be a blast. And then Demon Souls. I know someone caved in and bought it last night. Good on you. Congratulations. You're gonna have a blast. I think it's Demon
Hope
Souls
so.
is I started the franchise earlier this year. Um, and it has been nothing but good times, bad times, tough times. But at the end of the day, I'm enjoying it, and it is probably the prettiest game I've ever played in my entire life. Spider-Man's beautiful, but just the eeriness, the grim tone of Demon Souls, just the lighting, you just have to play it to believe it and see it. The controller doesn't play as much of an impact there, as far as I can tell so far. But it is beautiful, and I haven't played the original. This rebuilt remaster is everything I hoped it would be and a little bit more. So that's pretty much all I've got for games. I've played some, like obviously some PS4 games, MLB, Rocket League, stuff like that. But just huge shout out to again the speed, the fact that I can get into Fortnite without having to make an entire meal for dinner. I love it.
Bro,
So
Fortnite took so much time. I don't know why. Every time I play Fortnite on PS4, now I'm noticing it. That's the thing. Now if I ever go back to the PS4, I'm just gonna look at it with disgust and like, I'm like, it
Yeah,
took me like
this thing
five
has spoiled
minutes.
us.
This thing has
yeah,
spoiled us,
It's
bro. It took us so long to get into Fortnite. I was like, I never noticed because it was the norm. Like I had to wait this every time. Now I don't. I have to wait like 20 seconds tops, and I'm in Fortnite. It's
yeah.
so weird. Yeah, Ross, which game you
Yeah, I mean,
playing? No,
as far as the
don't talk
launch
about
game,
Destiny. Don't talk about Destiny.
hey, I'll do what I want. Okay. Yeah, I got Astro's Playroom and Miles, and I think Astro is what surprised me the most.
Yep.
If anything, that's like the true next gen game, I would say, and I wouldn't have expected that.
yeah,
Even though Team Asobi, is that right? Team Asobi
yeah,
Asabi. They've done some good stuff before. I mean, that demo they had with the PS4 camera was pretty fun. Astro's rescue mission was really cool in VR, but this the most seems like its own game. And in a lot of ways, we'll see how much hate I get for this, but it does Nintendo better than Nintendo, um, for me at least. And
I,
Overall, or just this year?
we'll say this year. I don't want to get too many
which is pretty
dislikes on.
nice. Yeah,
Um,
Cause Super Mario Galaxy.
that's not a 2020 game. So.
Okay, I was just making sure you're talking about 2020 as a, and not like Nintendo overall, cause that
Yeah,
would be unfair.
Pedro's trying to trap me here. um, but yeah, no, I mean the
Nothing is
amount of
better than Mario
nostalgia.
Galaxy. I'm sorry, bro.
All right, take
yeah.
it easy.
That I agree with that retweet.
Um, yeah, I mean the lost track of what I was saying. Now I'm
You're
thinking about Mario
talking about
Galaxy.
Astro.
The amount of nostalgia. I mean, it does nostalgia right, and
Yeah,
from beginning to end. I mean, I think I had a smile on my face the entire time.
Yep.
I teared up
yeah.
a few times, and I never would have expected that from Astro's Playroom. But here we are. So yeah, I mean that game is amazing. Um, the amount of advantage it takes over the DualSense controller is just it's mind-boggling. I've never been excited to just hold a controller while playing a game. But yeah, that game is amazing. And then Miles, I think Roman said a lot of what I was thinking as well. It's shorter than the Spider-Man PS4 game, but um, it still feels fun as hell. And
Yeah.
the story, I think, in some ways it's not as good as the Spider-Man PS4 story, but in some ways it's kind of better. I think has the sense of like you know friendly neighborhood Spider-Man that I think the first game didn't really have. But yeah, I love Miles.
Oh yeah.
And then I also
I
got
a
go
couple
ahead.
of years
Sorry.
ago before. Sorry, no, go ahead. No, you're
No,
fine.
you
You're
go.
fine.
Go ahead.
I'll wait till later.
Okay.
Okay, so a
Um,
couple of years before Into the Spider, we're just going back and forth now. Zoom's screwing this up.
go
You
ahead.
can go
Go
ahead.
You go
go
Find
ahead.
my
Roman,
Go
go
cup.
ahead.
go 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 go.
Okay. Who's
Okay,
go?
so a couple of years before, a couple of years before Into the Spider Verse, I didn't really care for Miles. I didn't really know much about him. And then now it just after this game, especially, the connection is really just kind of remarkable, especially in comparison to Peter, where I love Peter for very different reasons, but also similar reasons at the same time. And I think that they've done a great job with really kind of merging the two in a weird way and kind of just making them a part of the same world. And again, let's get Spider-Man 2
Spider-Man 2.
going.
Yep.
Yeah, let's
Do
go.
it.
So, sorry, go ahead. I just had to get that in there.
He's gonna talk
Oh,
about
no, it's fine.
Destiny.
I'm sure Pedro's excited because I'm going to talk about Destiny 2 now.
Well, jokes on you. I'm gonna talk about Fortnite. So go ahead.
No, I mean I bought the new Destiny expansion and I don't want to get too much into it because I plan on doing a review for the channel later. But the load
Hey.
times, I mean, come on, it went from
Yeah.
minutes to seconds, and
Mhm.
they haven't even optimized it with the next gen patch yet. So
Oh, that's pretty cool.
it's blowing my mind with the load times. And then I played some backward compatible games. Most recently, I played Days Gone, and that's running at a
Mhm.
smooth 60 frames.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
And I don't think that was even possible with the PS4. So
I'm curious.
lot
Is
of good
Last
things.
of Us running on 60?
No, and actually,
Okay.
I do want to say something. I think Miles' performance mode really spoiled me because I put Last of Us Part 2 and I'm like, this is kind of running like shit now at 30 frames.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
You're a cinematic.
going from Miles to Days Gone was really strange because I went to this really optimized experience, and then Days Gone, which is pretty okay so far, has some bright spots, but it's just like you can just tell like the difference in quality. Like it, not that necessarily these games are bad, and Last of Us 2 is one of the best games I've ever played, but it is kind of astonishing just how optimized this whole experience is compared to what we were just playing a month ago.
Yeah. I got for my with my PS5. I got Miles and Sackboy. Um, but to me, so far, the star of the PS5 to me is also Astro's Playroom. I was in awe with the game. Like when I saw the review and I saw like some gameplay, I was like, this looks like a little fun adventure. Like you can up in, up out, like real quick, play a few levels and be done with it. But it was so much more. It was so fun. It felt like a. It's weird, but it felt like a theme park. I was exploring a theme park based on PlayStation properties, and it was
Uh
so
huh.
fun and nostalgic. I loved going, finding the artifacts and
So it
seeing
felt like an
things
MCU
I.
movie.
Yeah, exactly. My Martin Scorsese know
Did
what's
y'all
up.
hear that?
He needs to see PlayStation. He
N-
needs
n-
to see the PlayStation 5. Astro's Playroom. But it was so fun and it was so cool to see so many like pieces of the history of PlayStation. And I think yeah, as you guys said, it is like the best game that takes advantage of the features of the PS5. If the triggers, the feedback, everything feels so good while playing. I love that. I love there's a level where you have to use a monkey to climb up some like steps,
Mhm.
and there's some steps are kind of like fragile, and you have to carefully press the trigger, and it makes you feel like it's about to break, which is so cool to me. It was so
You really
fun.
feel like a monkey.
Yeah, it makes you really feel like a monkey. when there's also a level with like it feels like something really futuristic, and you hear like and you see like some like spaceships going through like by your side, and you feel that on your remote. It's so cool.
Oh, this,
It's such a
Yeah.
different experience that I never expected to experience for free. Kinda, right? This is free. Okay, so you gotta get a PS5,
it's
but
true.
this is like
Yeah.
it's like Wii Sports. It's free per se. It's free,
Costs about
and this
$400. Yeah.
it's the best free game
Oh,
since Wii
500 if
Sports.
you're getting the ugly edition.
Oh, forgot about the disc. Disc drive. My
Uh,
bad.
it's the best free game since Wii Sports. But yeah, my
I agree
girlfriend
with that.
is coming over to try out the PS5, and I told her she has to play Astro because I think that's the game that's gonna show her how different the PS5 is
Yeah.
from the PS4.
I,
What?
yeah, just a note on that. I love the diversity of the launch lineup. I mean, you got Demon
Oh, yeah.
Souls, Spider-Man,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Astro. And that's three
yeah,
completely different games.
completely different games.
Yeah.
Miles, I'm loving it. Here's the thing: when I bought Miles, when I pre-ordered Miles, I didn't pre-order the Ultimate Edition. I pre-ordered the regular because I was thinking to myself, do I really need the remaster of Spider-Man? Because I already played it, I fully beat it. After experiencing Miles with everything like optimized for the PS5, I need the Spider-Man remaster because I want to experience Spider-Man remaster now with the optimized things for the PS5. Because here's the thing, I don't know if it's because of the optimization, but to me, Miles gameplay is better than Spider-Man, but I think Spider-Man's story is better than Miles. But to be fair, Miles is like a, I don't want to say a side quest, but it's fun little thing. I don't
It
think it's a full
it
fledged
does a
like
lot with what little time it's given, though. I don't know
exactly,
how
yeah.
far you are into the game, but man, it really
I
goes to some places I was impressed by
I
towards the
played
end.
3 hours and it's non-stop the story, which is a good thing. Like the story,
Yeah.
there's no like dull moments. There's no Mary Jane side mission.
I was about to say. I was about to say.
There's no Miles side missions. Not the the
That was
non-power
Pre
I was
Spider-Man.
the powerless Miles missions.
I was waiting
It's
for those
just
ganky missions. Yeah.
yeah.
I
Uh,
actually thought we were gonna get one. I was like waiting for it, and I was so happy we didn't get one.
but I was but from the opening alone, from the Rhino scene alone, which is honestly one of my, if not my favorite mission so far of both games. I love the Rhino mission, the opening
Yeah.
mission from Miles. It is
It,
fantastic, and I love the fidelity mode. The performance mode is awesome, but I prefer the fidelity mode. Uh, and yeah, it just feels, everything just feels so smooth and so right. I don't know. It is an awesome experience, and I don't want to bash on the people that got Miles for PS4, but this is the way to play Miles. I'm sorry for the people that got the PS4 version, but even the people that got the PS4 version know that this is, the PS4 version is not the definitive Miles experience, but it is awesome. I played a little bit of Miles. Sorry, not Miles. Sackboy. I didn't play too much yet of Sackboy, but Sackboy is, it's basically a cute adventure that I'm actually gonna take my time playing because I feel like Sackboy is gonna be one of those games where I pop in for like an hour and then just go to play another game. Like take my time with it. It's basically a breather. Like go in, play a few platformer missions. Apparently the game gets really hard at the end. I was reading a review and a guy said like at the end the game gets really hard. I was like, this is a kids game, bro. Uh, but but I'm enjoying it. It's a fun, cute game for the family. If you have younger kids, this is probably more to them. But I'm also like really nostalgic when it comes to Little Big Planet. That's why I picked it up. I also played, and this is optimized for the PS5, Fortnite, which is my go-to multiplayer game yet still after 3 entire years. Uh, and now Fortnite looks amazing. I know this sounds weird, but they really did a great job. There's new animations for the next gen. The triggers, the adaptive triggers, they're cool, but I think if you're playing casually, sure, have them on. But if you're going for more like competitive, maybe you want to turn them off because they can get really distracting and they can make those quick decisions feel useless because of the
Yeah.
triggers. But the game looks amazing for the next gen. Like you can actually see the entire map fully rendered, which is something I haven't seen in Fortnite ever. When the characters die, there's actually a new animation. There's like a little portal sucking the characters when they die. That's something cool. everything just looks beautiful and looks like, and the best part is this looks beautiful and there's no load times. So
Yeah.
Fortnite loads super fast. I'm in and out real quickly. I love it, and it really feels like it really feels like they took their time upgrading the game from the PS4 to the PS5, and it plays really well. I'm really happy with that. Other than that, I didn't try yet any PS4 game. If I believe I tried Bugs Next. Is that a PS4 or PS5 game? I actually don't know. Is it
Yeah, you can
PS5?
say
Random
PS5.
optimized.
It's
I
for
actually wanted to
both.
mention.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think Bugsnax is actually pretty some surprisingly like
it's weird.
interesting conflict. It's weird, definitely. But because like I don't really know what's going on right now. You're feeding them these things and they're just turning into them. But either way, and it's like a crack addiction to some of these characters. But the most interesting part is like there's actually some kind of interesting conflict like between some characters. There's actually some like really personal, like, oh, my wife may or may not have cheated on me and that's why she left. Meanwhile, I'm feeding them like french fries and their arms are turning into french fries, and it's like it's very strange, but
It's an
This
experience.
is not real. This is not real, bro.
no, dude, I swear, like it's a really interesting experience.
What
And
a
like
game! What a
the
game!
main character behind you, I think his name is Philbo, actually has some like really like personal issues with like some of the other like villagers, and it's like what a weird game, but I'm kind of enjoying it. I'm like a couple hours in, and it's only like 5 or 6 hours, so I'll probably end up beating it. And I'm actually kind of enjoying it. As for other PS4 games, I want to mention I put in like 20 days to MLB The Show. I've which is ridiculous considering that I've
Baseball.
put
I'm gonna go sleep.
12 days into Rocket League and I've had that game for as many years. But the most interesting part to me is that although besides there's a few visual glitches in a lot of these PS4 games that I've been playing,
Mm-hmm.
they look and run so much better. So like for example, like on PS4, like sometimes it was kind of hard to see what pitch was coming in, which is obviously important in baseball. But now like everything is just registering so much quicker and the refresh rates are so much nicer. So when that pitch is coming in at 100 miles an hour, it doesn't look like a blur. It actually looks like a baseball and feels like I'm hitting a baseball. And um, I feel like that's the most important part is I'm going to be going back and playing Days Gone, Persona 5 as much as I can. And these PS4 experiences are clearly not as tight because they're older games in some departments, but I feel like for the most part they've done a pretty good job.
Out of curiosity, you guys had the PS4, the first edition, right? Or did you have like the
Mhm.
Pro or the Slim?
I had the Pro.
I had
Oh,
the
okay.
Pro.
Just out of
Oh no,
curiosity,
sorry, the first edition.
how did you go? So I had the Pro. No, never
Sorry.
mind. I had the fat one, the old one.
Yeah, the fat one that was sounding like a jet engine every time you booted it up.
Yeah, it's.
Oh,
I was just asking
to
because it's
note on
curious to
that,
see like.
I have. Sorry,
Yeah,
go
go
ahead.
go. No, no, no. You
I was
go.
go-
You
I was
go.
gonna say I have not heard of the PS5 at all.
Yeah,
Oh, I
neither
So
heard
I
have I.
when
got
I
it.
boot it. I heard it when I initially like set it up, but after that, yeah, I barely hear it. I have to get really close to her to like hear, but yeah,
Yeah.
I barely hear any sound. I was just asking because I was curious, like, how much of a leap was like the PS5 and the PS4? Because to me, it was a huge leap because I went from playing on my old ass jet engine PS4 to playing on a brand new console. To me, to me the experience is really like different. So that's how I was asking just out of curiosity. So apparently Raz made a small jump, while me and Roman did a huge jump. Oh
Yeah.
wait,
Yeah, I mean,
is that
I think
Stranding
as far
optimized?
as like,
I gotta get on it again. Is that Stranding optimized on
not yet,
PS4? Damn it!
not
Okay.
yet, not
Okay,
yet.
okay.
But yeah, no, as far as like graphical fidelity, because PS4 Pro had a lot of checkerboard rendering and
Mhm.
upscaling to 4K,
Mhm.
Mhm.
whereas the PS5 is just straight up 4K. But I think the main difference again was playing like performance mode on some of these games because that wasn't possible with any PS4.
Yeah.
60 frames per second. I mean, come on.
So
Yeah.
let's. This is like the first review we do for the channel in this like format, which was like kind of a podcast, but not really. But let's try to grade the PS5. How much would you say from like 1 to 10? 10 being like, please keep refreshing your Walmart page to get a PS5, and 1 being, please still stick to your fat PS4. How much would you give the PS5?
I think between with how impressive the controller was and how much they've lived up to what they've sold. Sure, it doesn't quote unquote have the power of an Xbox, but I feel like everything they've wanted to deliver on, they absolutely executed in every single way. If I have I have a few concerns about the UI, which I'm sure will be fine. It's something I got to get used to. I do have a concern with the longevity of the controller. That was a big issue with PS4 and PS3. I went through about four PS4 controllers or five PS4 controllers in 6 years, and that's not for me damaging them. I use them
Yeah,
normally. I'm not throwing them through the
I
floor or
went
the
I
ceiling.
went through three. I went through three
Yeah,
PS4
But
controllers.
and
you did play the
One,
Soulsborne games, so you know.
I
yeah, I
did break
mean,
one
hey,
playing FIFA, but the other two I played. Bro, I
um,
was so mad. I threw my PS4 controller against the wall, and that's when I actually stopped playing FIFA forever because I was too mad, and it was
yeah,
really burning my
that
life.
happened with Fortnite once.
Yeah, I mean,
Fortnite one time.
I just bought Demon Souls, so my controller's probably dead in the next week
It's
or so.
sweating. It's sitting
But
there on your
I
shelf,
did
just like,
see
oh my god,
Yeah.
no,
Okay.
who did it?
I did see a
But
video of a guy trying to. I hate those type of videos, but I was curious. A guy tried to destroy the PS4 DualShock, PS5 DualShock. It never like broke. Like he threw water over it. He threw like chips.
Jake
I think a
Baldino.
Coke. Was he? Was no?
Yeah,
I don't
that
think it
was
was
him.
him. I don't think it was him.
I
Maybe
know
it
they
was
did
a.
a video though.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know they did a video, but I don't think it was him. And they actually dropped it from really far. Like and it was like it's working. There's nothing.
I feel
You.
like for me the concern comes from all the internal stuff with
Mhm.
sorry, I just kicked my dog on the side of the head. I'm so sorry, buddy. He's laying under.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm just worried about the internal stuff because that's where a lot of my issues came from is like there was a lot of stick drift or like the left stick would go out. I don't know how the vibrations are going to hold up. I'm sure it's going to be fine. I mean, these guys are geniuses. They're making $500 consoles and $70 controllers, but for a consumer like me now, where games and controllers are the same amount, a $70 controller purchase could be another 20 to 30 hour game. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that controller is going to give me potentially 4 to 5 years worth of game time before going quote unquote bad. But that's just a concern I have. I'm sure it's going to be fine. But overall grade, I kept this a little long. I'd probably say like a 9.
Okay.
I feel like the launch lineup's incredible. The controller is incredible. It's fast. They delivered and they executed on everything they promised. And the fact that 2021 is probably not going to bring us God of War, but hopefully it does. It just has me wishing that all these games would release at this point. Spider-Man, Horizon, God of War, Bloodborne 2. Do it, please. I want it. So
Russ.
Yeah. I'm just gonna give the score first. It's so weird grading a system, but
I know. I know. I
I'll
know.
I'll go
yeah.
with a
But
9 as well.
it
Nine point
is what it
five.
is.
Yeah, I mean everything that it set out to do, it did, and I'm impressed with it every single day I use it. Um, I think the biggest thing for me is the potential that it has. Like even some of the UI stuff that maybe it's not the most convenient. I can see them updating that in the future and it being something that's more snappy and responsive. And also certain things like the picture-in-picture mode. I'm just imagining
Oh
like
yeah.
if they
Yeah.
could implement like video services to that. If I could watch like Netflix while playing
Playing
Destiny,
well.
like I don't know, like that would be
I
that's
would
That
I
would be
would
actually
love a
cool.
podcast app too. That would be awesome.
uh,
Instead of having to use my phone. But
yeah,
that's
yeah,
it's probably
But
not
that
going to
would be
happen. But
really
that'd be
cool
cool.
because like there's a lot of like grinding missions where you're doing like just doing it for a purpose and like you're kind of bored. If you could have like a screen with like Netflix or something going on, you could like be playing and watching a movie or something or a show or whatever while you're doing such something that you're just doing to grind out. I don't know. It would be
Um,
really cool.
have you guys used the picture-in-picture mode at all? Like, or even
No,
attempted to
not
use
yet.
it?
I've used it with one of the cards. So like one of the like walkthroughs on how to achieve like a certain trophy or something.
Okay.
It,
I
work,
um
it works pretty well.
I did it with my friend. He was streaming on Twitch. He was streaming Call of Duty, and I was playing Rocket
Hmm.
League. And my internet isn't the best, and I figured it wasn't going to hold up one end. So either my Rocket League was going to my internet was going to just go through the roof and packets were going to be sent through and my connection was going to go crazy or the Twitch stream was going to go bad, but it ended up working pretty well. I didn't mess with it too much, but it seemed really difficult to mute his video because I
Hmm.
had him in the party chat as well while
Yeah,
playing, so it was kind of like a little difficult there. But overall, it worked really well. It was super seamless. Like I just went into the party, showed that my friend was streaming, hit watch stream, hit picture in picture, and I was playing.
that's
And
pretty
it
cool.
like it wasn't a chore. So I definitely want to mess with more stuff like that because I definitely didn't capitalize on that with PS4 or PS3, where they had some of these like hidden features that you didn't really feel like you would use too much. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to see what else I can work with on the console.
Yeah. I honestly would also give it like a 9. Here's the thing: if you're going for if you don't mind the load times, and if you don't really care about these new features, you just care about the games, then yeah, sure. Wait until 2022 or 23. That's when they stop making PS4 and PS5 games. Um, but if you care about these like brand new experiences, and when we talk about brand new, I mean really like brand new, something we have never experienced before, this is 100% worth it. The way the games run, the load times, the console itself, it is amazing, and I'm actually like quite shocked at how much I'm enjoying it. I was expecting something. Of course, I always wanted a PS5 because I always like having the next console. But like, I wasn't expecting this much improvement over the PS4, to be honest. And I'm just blown away and honestly happy at how much stuff they put into the PS5. And yeah, the games they offer for launch are incredible. You have Demon Souls, you have Miles, you have Sackboy, a game for each type of genre of gaming, if you will. It's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, the UI is kind of weird. Also, are there themes for the PS4? Like, are they going to be themes?
That's a
Sorry, the
good
PS no
question.
PS5.
They did say it's coming later.
Yeah, okay, okay. I was curious if they were
So
gonna have teams, but yeah, if you have the money and if you for some reason actually find the PS5, it is 100% worth the update, the upgrade. Sorry,
big if.
big if yeah. Here in Portugal, they said the next shipping is coming like uh. Okay, so the next shipping is coming in December, but that's sold out already. So the next shipping after the December one is in late January, which is kind of
That's crazy.
unreal. Yeah,
That's
but
I
it
just want to say I feel really grateful to like
yeah,
have one. Like, and I wish everyone could have one. Like, I got really lucky. Like, I'm
yeah,
sure all of us technically did.
yeah,
But yeah, definitely, I feel like if you've got the money and you're really wanting to upgrade and you see and hear about all the performance updates, it's worth the $400 or $500 depending on which
yeah.
console you pick. I don't think you can go wrong with either one. There's pros and cons for both. I feel like, but yeah, this is it. This is the next generation
It's
of gaming.
next.
I can't believe it's here. It feels like just a couple days ago I was getting a PS4 for Christmas. So
Yeah, that's it. That's our PS5 review. I hope you enjoyed. We're gonna also do a review on me and Matt's gonna do a review on Miles once I beat Miles, which I'm probably close to do it. Um, Roman, do you wanna plug something before we go?
got nothing to plug right now. Just keep gaming. Just keep enjoying this wild season of games, and hopefully Cyberpunk ends up delivering and actually comes out in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Um,
Let's see.
and
Big
then
if.
real quick, yeah, I mean, I think it needs more time, but hey, that's just me. That's just the gameplay I've seen. And then last thing, I think personally, Hades is going to win Game of the Year. I haven't played it, but it feels like that type of game is due for a big win. Last of Us 2 would be my pick, obviously, and this could be the first year I finally play all the Game of the Year nominees. Just got to download Hades, but I feel like that's going to win. I feel like there's something about it, and that's going to win
Yep.
Game of the Year. And I
Me
would
and Raz were gushing over it on the Game Awards video. We were like, "Yep, it gotta win here. Yep, it gotta win here as well. Gotta win here." And then we're like, "They were snubbed. They have like a shit ton of nominations. They were snubbed here." But yeah, it is a fantastic game, and I hope if you guys can
$20,
play
right?
it. Yeah, it's $20. I got it for 18 because Europe. But yeah, it's $20. Uh, but yeah, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.